In our top story, Kenya Defense Forces say they killed 21 Al-Shabaab terrorists in an ambush in Somalia in the Haina area. This took place on Tuesday. They recovered 17 AK-47 rifles and other assorted weapons. Now, the military convoy was traveling from Afmadow to Dhobley when it came under attack, but the soldiers fought back and proceeded with their journey. The African Union mission in Somalia has not yet commented on the matter, but Al-Shabaab operatives have confirmed the attack. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department has issued a travel advisory to U.S. citizens to avoid traveling to Somalia. It follows the continued threat of the Al-Qaeda-linked militant group Al-Shabaab and the risks of kidnapping throughout the country. Well, let's get to the latest now on that ambush. We're now joined by CCTV's Abdulaziz Billo live for us in Mogadishu. Abdulaziz, of course, KDF troops now say they've killed dozens of Al-Shabaab militants. What more can you tell us about Tuesday's incident?
Well, Lindy, we are now in a position to confirm indeed that the attack took place on Tuesday evening in a place called Haina. Now, this is on the road between Tapta and Dhobley in southern Somalia, and this is almost near the border with Kenya. Now, Kenyan military spokesperson confirmed that almost 21 Al-Shabaab militants were killed in that attack. They also say that they seized a cache of weapons from the militant group Al-Shabaab. Now, shortly before we came to this live cross, we talked to the African Union force spokesperson who is based here in Mogadishu. He confirmed the attack. He said that they are still investigating the attack, but what the information that he has for now is that the Kenyan forces came under attack from the Al-Shabaab. Now, the spokesperson is also saying that 4 militants were planning to set improvised explosive devices on the road. Now, this is on the road where Kenyan forces normally pass carrying supplies and soldiers going up and forth in the lower Juba region. This is the area that they are under the control of. So the African Union is saying that the attack did take place, that the Kenyan forces managed to repel this attack, but they're still investigating on this attack. But the Kenyan forces actually admit that they repelled the Al-Shabaab.
Well, of course, Abdulaziz, a victory like this suggests that Al-Shabaab is indeed a much more weakened force than previously considered. But of course, on the other hand, you have the United States continuing to issue travel warnings, saying that, that Al-Shabaab remains a major threat. I suppose the truth is somewhere in between.
Well, Lindy, if we take a close look at Al-Shabaab activities in the past 5 months, this is from January, the militant group enjoyed a lot of media attention after the attack on the Kenyan forces in the place called El-Adde. This is in the Gedo region. After that attack, the Al-Shabaab was trying to prove that it was a force to reckon with after it killed more than 100 Kenyan soldiers. Now, shortly after that, in February, it claimed responsibility for the bombing of Dalo airline Airbus here in Mogadishu after it took off from the Aden Abdullah International Airport. Now, you see these 2 incidents, the Al-Shabaab claimed a lot of power and a lot of recognition after that attack. Now, ever since March, things started changing here on the ground. A deadly U.S. drone strike in a camp called Raso in central Somalia. Analysts here say that that was a game changer, where Al-Shabaab militants, almost 150, were killed. Now, shortly after that, the Al-Shabaab were repelled from central Somalia. They went to the Puntland regions, where they also suffered another crushing defeat. And they also went to central Somalia, where they suffered the same defeat. Now, also the U.S. and the Somali elite commandos have been launching deadly attacks, or commando raid attacks on key Al-Shabaab strongholds, mostly in the lower Shabelle region that has for long been categorized as an Al-Shabaab stronghold. Now, definitely, this has weakened the Al-Shabaab here in Somalia, and the experts are saying that if these attacks, the commando raid attacks, should be continued so that the Al-Shabaab can indeed be weakened. But indeed, the Al-Shabaab is still a potent threat here in Somalia, and that's why the U.S. is issuing travel advisories to its nationals wishing to travel to Somalia, because the militant group still remains a threat to the United Nations, the African Union, and also to the Somali government.
Abdulaziz Billo live for us there in Mogadishu. Thank you very much.